Thank you, President Himmelstein, members of the board. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be seated here today. And again, I want to thank all of you for the faith you have placed in me, and I will work hard each and every day to not disappoint you. I don't have a lengthy report this morning. However, there are 2 or 3 things I want to mention. You're going to hear a little bit more later today about the passage of Prop 30, but I just want to thank Governor Brown for, I think, what all of us would agree was a masterful political campaign, especially during the latter part of October and the first few days of November. I think we'd be remiss if we didn't also thank the faculty and staff and our colleges up and down the state who responded to the governor's request that we really engage our students, get them registered to vote, and then most importantly, I want to thank the students who did exactly what the governor and the campaign asked them to. They did register, and then they did get out and vote in numbers higher than they ever have in the past. And many political experts are now crediting those younger voters, many of them our students, as the reason Prop 30 was successful. So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank our students because I suspect a lot of sighs of relief up and down the state were due to their hard work. Secondly, I want to thank the Academic Senate for inviting me last week on Thursday to make my first speech as Chancellor to their fall meeting. Michelle Pilati and faculty leadership, I genuinely appreciate the invitation. I will tell you that preparing remarks on Tuesday, not knowing what was going to happen with Proposition 30 was a dicey proposition, but thankfully the faculty were pretty tolerant of the generalities I spoke about on Thursday, and they were a wonderful audience. It was a great opportunity for me. I also want to thank the Association of California Community College Administrators, ACCA, for their sponsorship of last evening's dinner for the Board of Governors. It was a lovely function. Linda Beam, the board president, and Susan Bray, the executive director, and all of their colleagues were very gracious to the board, and I know everyone enjoyed themselves. And then I want to make special thanks to the staff here in the Chancellor's office for their warm welcome last week. I'm now in day 6 on the job. They keep inviting me to come back the next day, which is, I think, a very good sign. But all these folks seated on the right over here and broader staff in the office have been very, very gracious, and they continue to act as if I know what I'm doing, even though they probably are saying to themselves, that guy's clueless about what's going on. So we're working hard together, and it's really a pleasure. And then finally, I want to congratulate Natalie Berg, member of the Board of Governors, who was reelected last week to her seat on the board. And I also want to congratulate one of our board members who ran for a seat on the board of the Peralta District and came up just a few votes short. And I will tell you, all of us who work with elected officials know that getting in the arena is a real challenge, and so Jarena, from all of us, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you making that effort. And I have said that Jarena is likely to be a governor of California someday. And you know, Abe Lincoln lost his first election, Jarena, and I think you have big things ahead of you. So congratulations. And at this time, are there any new staff members that our Vice Chancellors would like to introduce? Don't be bashful.
Hello.
I think it's working.
Oh, yes. I'd like to introduce 2 individuals who are, well, one is not so new anymore. She's been doing yeoman's work, Deborah Jones, who is our new dean, and you've met her in prior occasions. And then Carol Jung just joined us last week in a specialist capacity to help us further some of our sector work. So, yes, if you could stand up.
I have 3 people I'd like to introduce. First, we have David Garcia, who is new to the office. Actually moved from just a couple of floors up downstairs to to join us just a few months ago. And then secondarily, we have Elisa Orozco-Anders, who joined us. She previously worked at the foundation office and oversaw a major project, California Connects, there. And she now has moved into the office and is helping us with curriculum work. And then lastly, I would like to introduce Barbara Alowski, who is taking over as the Basic Skills Coordinator. And you may know Barbara. She was involved with the Basic Skills work previously when we started about 5 or 6 years ago. So she's back and she's working in the office, working on basic skills and a few other projects as well.
Good job. I think that's it.
That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to all of you. Two things I did want to mention before we get to our agenda. Member Malumet gave me a call a few days ago, said she wasn't going to be here, and the reason is she and her husband, Senator Lowenthal, are in Washington for the orientation for new members of Congress. As Senator Lowenthal won his election, so we gave her a pass for this this meeting, so we congratulate them. The other thing I'd like for all of us on the board and those of you in the audience, I'd like to take a moment and thank Eric Skinner, who served as our interim chancellor and did a terrific job, as he always does. You all should know Eric stepped up at our request, took on a lot more responsibility for absolutely no additional compensation. And we thank him very, very much for his service, so thanks.